Welcome to Hits Differently. I'm Molly, and I'm going to catch you up on everything that happened at the iHeart Radio Music Awards tonight, where Taylor Swift was in attendance. The iHeart Radio team had confirmed that she was going, which thank you, bless you, because we were not clowning for her to go to this one. You guys might remember that last year for the iHeart Awards, we had so many theories about what was going to happen and that Taylor was going to show up, and she did not. The necklace that I'm wearing for anyone who's watching, rather than catching us on audio later, is a nod to what happened last year, which is that Taylor accepted her awards with some pre-recorded videos. She's wearing a black shirt, standing in front of a brick wall, but she was wearing this snake necklace, which sent us all going crazy. So the fact that she was confirmed to be going about a week in advance this year was huge, but we didn't really know exactly why she was going, other than that she was nominated for 9 awards, and that's enough of a reason to go in itself. But I was wondering if she was going to end up presenting an award. A lot of people were wondering if she was going to perform, but she was just a true attendee tonight, a recipient of 7 out of the 9 awards that she was nominated for. 7. So I need to get a full list of all the awards that she won. I wasn't able to find that right before we were going live, but off the top of my head, the first award that she accepted on stage was for Pop Album of the Year. And then at the end of the show, she was presented with Artist of the Year plus 5 others that made a total of 7 for the night. So the other ones I can remember off the top of my head were so Artist of the Year, Pop Album of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Music Video of the Year. I think lyrics, all of the song and lyric stuff and music video was for Fate of Ophelia, and then she won for Eras Tour for Style. Maybe I got all of them off the top of my head. So I went straight to the awards, but let's back up to what she was wearing. By the way, thank you to everyone who is on this live stream right now. Please give the live stream a like if you're watching, or if you're catching this later, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for all of your support. We love hanging out with you guys after things like this happen, you know? You got to have someone to talk to about Taylor going to the iHeart Awards, because the general public might not understand how big of a deal this is for us Swifties, but for the Swifties, this is like a celebration that Taylor went to an award show, her first award show of the season, her first award show for Showgirl. So let's talk about this outfit, okay? I'm gonna get a picture up to talk about it. Stand by. All right. We're gonna go with one of, no, I'm not gonna do Travis yet. He's gonna come next, okay? We'll just have a moment for the outfit. All right. For those who are watching this, hopefully you see Taylor. Potentially not. Alex might be fixing something. I clicked the wrong button. All right, so for those who are watching, if you're listening to this on audio later, I'll try my best to describe it. Would we call this a seafoam green, chat? I think so. It's not mint, but it's the showgirl green, in my opinion. It's a very light green. So when she showed up on the red carpet wearing this, I did start to see a lot of people thinking it was a nod to Debut, because Debut is also green. And the biggest nod that I see to Debut is kind of the tassels that she has going on. Like, I could see that being a country fringe on this corset style top that she has. So she has a corset style top with a zipper and this these sparkly embellishments that look like some tassels, and then she's wearing a skirt that is the same color matching of the seafoam green. So First of all, she looks great in these corsets. Okay, she can keep wearing these for the rest of time. But I felt it was Showgirl in my bones when I first saw it. Some people thought it was debut. Maybe it could be both. I Even though the tassels could give country fringe and debut to me, I also think that they give Showgirl, you know, bedazzlement, embellishment. Let's see what chat is saying. Very ice skater. Ooh. Someone asked if they should go to sleep because it's 2:30 a.m. You know, I do support getting a good night's sleep, but it's also hard to go to sleep when the adrenaline is pumping from the iHeart Awards. Oh, someone said the dress is the color of Travis's eyes. I like that. By the paint in the color of your eyes. Graffiti my whole dang life. Chat says debut straight away. Alex, can we get a poll for debut or Showgirl green? I'm interested. The beating in the fringe is saying something. It's giving Showgirl to debut transition. Corset seems to be Showgirl era. Oh, someone doesn't like the fit. You know, it is very different from what she has worn to award shows in the past. But also the iHeart Awards, I feel like had wide ranges of how people were dressing. When I was watching the red carpet streams before, there were some people in jeans and there were some people in ball gowns. So I do feel like she dressed very in the middle for formality purposes, and she looked really good in this. Um, but it's definitely not her, her last award show was her red dress Grammys look, which was freaking fire. So this is a little more tame compared to that. Someone said the dress color green is opalite. Interesting. I think of opalite more as like pearly, opalescent, maybe shades of blue than green, but the beading is orange, someone is saying. Ooh, that's cool. I couldn't really tell that from the screen or from these photos. So, oh, someone said there's a softer feel to this look. Maybe that's why it feels debut green. Yes, someone said that to us on Instagram too. They said it felt very soft and feminine. So I can see that for sure. So she shows up right before showtime. And we actually, if you were paying attention on social media, I actually saw footage of Travis arriving first from the iHeart radio account. Then I saw footage of Taylor. Both of those were kind of from the side or from the back and with crowds around them. So then afterwards, I saw Taylor's red carpet photos. So, in case you didn't know, Taylor and Travis did not walk the red carpet together. All of the red carpet photos with Taylor are her by herself. So they did enter the auditorium together, and then they were sitting in the front row. When Ludacris, who was the host of the show, when he opened it, he mentioned Taylor at least 3 times in the opening monologue. So we got, at first it was a tight shot of Taylor, and I was thinking, are they really not going to show Taylor and Travis together? But because he kept referencing her, they kept going back to her. And then by that final shot, they were showing Taylor and Travis together. So let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Cuties. I mean, just look at them. I did see a hilarious tweet that someone said, thank you, Travis, for dressing more just kind of baseline average tonight so that there weren't think pieces about his outfit. And those of us who have seen Travis over the years know that he can have some interesting style with his outfits. And I have to agree, he dressed perfectly to just compliment Taylor. It's very monochrome, matching. He looks great in the leather jacket, and their color schemes complement each other. They look great. They look great. He didn't detract any attention from Taylor throughout the night. He was clearly just there to support her. There were some really cute videos that people in the crowd got of them throughout the show, but my favorite one was a video where they zoom in and Travis is singing along to Opalite, and I think Taylor is in conversation or something, but he's just sitting there singing it by himself. I'm just like, Travis, I love you and how much you love Taylor so much. Poll results are in. What color was the corset a nod to? Really, her whole outfit. 46% says debut, 44% says showgirl, 10% says none, just a cute top. Well, I strongly disagree with the 10%. It's definitely something. Rose says that beating is reminiscent of a cowboy bandana pattern. So Long London says, I'm low-key Travis. Do you mean in the way that you dress? Oh, someone else said the ultimate goofball fanboy. He knows he's just Ken. He cleaned up really nice. Yes, he did. This photo screams, I feel so high school when I look at you. Right? For anyone who's listening later, I'm showing a photo of Taylor and Travis where they're just cheesing at each other, just looking into each other's eyes and smiling about something. Get married and start the block already. Got the whole block looking like you. Okay, so here's a debut comparison that I bookmarked for anyone who's wondering. You know, little over the shoulder look back. Her mouth was like open in a similar way to this debut photo. She has done this side angle turnaround and look back in multiple eras, but I love the comparison. Taylor and Travis were sitting near Somber, or like right next to Somber, and they seemed like they were having a blast the whole night. There had been reports of them hanging out, I think in LA maybe over the last couple of months. So it's cool to be able to see them together. Another thing that happened in that opening monologue, other than our initial shots of Taylor and Travis, is that she winked at the camera. Now, this also sent people spiraling because now we're thinking debut connections, and then she winks. And if you've been following the clowning over the last couple of years, you know that sometimes Taylor gives these side eyes or winks or just vibes that something's coming. So honestly, somehow when she winked, I didn't think anything of it. And then I saw someone compile all of these side eyes and glances over the years that have led to an announcement, and I thought, I'll just note this for later. Spoiler alert, there was no announcement tonight. But I did send that to Ryan. She's at work right now for anyone who's wondering where she is. I said Taylor winked at the camera and Ryan said, bye. Like, it's happening. Something's happening. Here's a montage of Taylor in different corset tops over the last couple of years. She looks great. She looks great. I think this one in the top right is when she rode the black dog. All right, so Taylor and Travis, again, didn't make a red carpet debut, but made their award show debut, which is huge. I think that Taylor would have gone to the iHeart Awards either way because her schedule is available. She was nominated for 9 awards. She was winning 7 of them. The ones that she was winning were the big awards: Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year. So it made sense for her to go. But she also hasn't been since 2023. And I have a theory that part of the reason she made sure to go in person this time is so that Travis could go with her. Because usually these bigger award shows fall during the football season. The VMAs is going to overlap with the beginning of the football season. And then the Grammys, assuming Taylor is nominated in this upcoming Grammy cycle for The Life of a Showgirl, will fall during the playoffs, the tail end of the playoffs, usually the AFC and NFC championship game weekends for the NFL. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but any of you fellow Chiefs fans out there hope that Travis wouldn't be able to go if Taylor's going to the Grammys, right? Should also note that Tree Payne was in attendance. Yes, thank you, Chad. Someone's asking how do they stream what platform? So I'm assuming you mean the iHeart Awards themselves. They were on Fox in the US. I don't know internationally if it was available. Alex is saying it's tape delayed for the West Coast. I'm so sorry. I should have said spoiler alert for all of you who said you were watching from the West Coast. Oh, am I saying song of the year? She won song of the year and she didn't? Pop song of the year. I'm sorry. My apologies to Alex Warren that I was messing that category up. So officially, pull this up. Officially, Taylor won for Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Pop Song of the Year, Best Lyrics, Best Music Video, Pop Album of the Year, and Favorite Tour. But it's really Favorite Tour style, I believe, was that category. So slight tweak to what you're seeing on screen. Really enjoyed the show, much better than expected. Nice distraction. So, you know what else is interesting? I don't know that if I don't think that Pop Album of the Year was supposed to be televised. That ended up being the first award that Taylor won tonight, and it was televised, obviously. They presented it to her. But I don't think that it was supposed to be part of the show, so that was really interesting, especially because at the end they ended up presenting her all of the other awards together at the same time. I think we should talk about what she said in her speeches. So, for the first award, she was presented the Pop Album of the Year award by Ray. And if you didn't know, Ray actually was an opener on the Eras tour for a period of time back in the first leg of the tour in 2023. Taylor had a couple of different openers that rotated, even if it was just for a couple of shows during that 2023 US leg. So Taylor was really excited that Ray presented the award to her and talked about how they toured together, and how she just really respects Ray and finds everything that she does really interesting. Um, USA Today is calling it mint green instead of seafoam green for the corset, just for the record. So when Taylor accepted the speech or accepted Best Pop Album of the Year from Ray, she said, "The life of a showgirl probably feels very happy, confident, and free because that's the way I get to feel every single day of my life because of my fiance." And Travis mouthed, "I love you" to her from the crowd as she said that. If you haven't seen any of these clips, maybe it wasn't available for you to watch, or in the case of our West Coasters, maybe it just hasn't aired yet. If you go follow us at It Hits Diff Pod on Instagram, we've been sharing all the footage of both her on the red carpet, her and Travis arriving into the auditorium for the show, and then her awards acceptance speeches on our Instagram story. So go follow us at It Hits Diff Pod. Um, but I just thought that that was really sweet. Her talking about how the Eras tour itself gave her so much confidence and joy and made her feel strong, just with the power of the fandom showing up for her and cheering her on. It made her feel that way. And then now she also has a partner, a fiance that makes her feel that way. It was really sweet to hear. And, if you're Travis Kelce, the glow up is crazy. You walked into the Eras tour the summer of 2023 in Kansas City, hoping to meet Taylor Swift. Fast forward a year, she now has an album out with potentially 2 songs about you, and one of them made the set list. Now she's singing that song to stadiums. Fast forward again, now to spring of 2026, and he's with her at an award show. They're engaged. Ugh, I just cannot. Okay. Then before Taylor was presented with the final award, the best thing ever happened, which is that Ray was performing the song "Where Is My Husband?" and Taylor was like holding up her hand, showing the engagement ring, singing it to Travis, and being like, "Where's my husband?" to him. It was so funny. They showed her multiple times during the show. well, or during the performance, doing that, and it was so cute. I cannot wait for a lifetime of award shows of them being able to dance together. And I think actually I can't confirm, but it seemed like Ray saw her on stage and kind of laughed a little bit at one point. Um, so now let me see if I can find the full. It hasn't gone blurry yet for me. It just made a noise. So, okay. We heard the noise that is what it sounds like when the camera disconnects. But it seems to still be working. Um, so let me see if I can find the quote now. It seems to happen every time that I try to like use the computer. So I'm just gonna use my phone instead of the computer. Um, so just bear with me. I'm trying to find the quote that was like the perfect life advice that Taylor gave when she accepted the award for Artist of the Year and the other albums that they just combined all into one so that she didn't have to go up on stage multiple times. It was really good. And she received that award from Alyssa, the figure skater, the Olympic champion figure skater. It was so cool to see them on stage together. And it made me think back during the Olympics, I actually really wanted to do a video about the crossover of Taylor and the Olympics because there were multiple things happening there. She did a voiceover for a feature piece about the figure skaters, the female figure skaters for the US Olympic team. She like her songs were being used, and then also there were just many American Olympians who were shouting her out, whether it was in their interviews after winning something or on social media. Um, so I had been thinking about trying to do a video or an episode on that, and then the Opalite music video got announced. So I never got to that. And seeing Alyssa on stage tonight reminded me of those crossovers and how cool it was that Taylor was so supportive of these athletes at the Olympics. So then seeing Alyssa on stage tonight present this to Taylor was really, really cool. Um, let's see. I might not be able to find the exact quote. Maybe Alex can find it for me. But essentially what she said when she accepted the award was one acknowledging Alyssa and the respect that Taylor had for Alyssa and all of the dedication, detail, love that Alyssa has for her sport, her craft, and what she's put into it, and how Taylor relates that to her and her craft. That 20 years ago, when she was writing music just alone in her room, that she spent what she said were thousands of hours trying to just perfect and hone in on her craft. And what was a hobby became her job, but it's also just something that she truly loves and gives, like, drives her, gives her passion every day to work on her craft. And the specific quote that really stood with me, which I will botch since I don't have it right in front of me, was about how what you put into your mind is like what you tell yourself, basically your own internal dialogue is tends to come true. So like your own self-talk, and that what you put on the internet gets killed. So she was explaining this to encourage all of the younger artists out in the crowd to hone in on your craft and perfect your craft and do what you love and do it for yourself and create that connection and that passion with you and your craft separate of the world. Find the joy in whatever it is that you love doing and protect that for yourself and try not to let the feedback that you get from the rest of the world weigh you down, because she talked about how these days, no matter what you do, you're going to get some kind of feedback, whether it's good or bad, and that can be really overwhelming. Chat said, have time between just you and your craft. So vital, so valuable. What did you guys think of this speech? I always love when Taylor works in life advice into these speeches, and she always talks about her songwriting and her music in such a way that just always drives home that she loves what she does. She said that again tonight. She thanked the fans extensively. Um, Especially in the first speech, she really made sure to thank the fans a lot. And in the second speech, I feel like it was more focused on what I was just explaining of, how she feels like she was able to become artist of the year basically. And the advice that she would give anyone who's trying to perfect and work on something that they love. Christine said, I love the advice to new upcoming artists. She said this on New Heights too. Yes. My favorite quote from New Heights, which I do remember the exact quote, is that she said, your energy is expensive and not everyone can afford it, when she was talking about the internet. Reputation, Taylor's version, says, the part of her speech that stuck out to me that screams debut was how she mentioned running home from school to play guitar and writing songs. Yes. I know when she said 20 years ago, I started to think, is this somehow a debut tie-in? But I think we're too early. I think that we are too early. I think that there will be time for debut Taylor's version in this upcoming summer months, whether that's around when Taylor wins or is inducted into the Hall of Fame, for the Songwriters Hall of Fame, or if it'll end up being closer to October, the actual 20th anniversary. Christopher said, Alyssa said she thinks she won because of Taylor's connection. Yes, she did joke about that. She said something along the lines of, Taylor voiced this piece for us that aired right before we performed, so maybe that's why we won. Tay Voodoo is real. Stella said, I can't wait for Trav to talk about this on New Heights. Out of the house. New Heights did post out of the house, so I think Travis will talk about it a little bit. Easy Chair resident said it was a debut taunt, not a debutante. That's hilarious. I hope that pun comes through as audibly funny as it is written. All right, what else have I missed that I haven't talked about yet? We talked about Taylor's outfit. We talked about Taylor and Travis. Talked about the awards and the speeches. I feel like I'm missing something, but it's also kind of a short award show. It always catches me by surprise, like, oh, it's over. It's ending. Um, Ludacris performed at the end. You see, I was a debutante in another life, but now I seem to be scared to go outside. Oh, Book Geek 79, who is a YouTube member, thank you, said, I wonder if we heard any future lyrics in her acceptance speech. That's always interesting. She does sometimes do that, especially for any of us who were around for her NYU speech. There were so many Midnight's lyrics in that speech that just seemed like a Taylor speech at the time, and we didn't know that they were going to be lyrics for a brand new album that wasn't announced yet. You know Jason will bring this up on New Heights. Oh, for sure. I don't think Travis did anything like silly or embarrassing though, so that's good for him. I'm like that, they always try to find ways to roast Travis a little bit. I don't know what they could roast him for from what I've seen. Easy Chair resident said she will come on hits differently and with Travis and answer their questions. I mean, listen, we could have a great interview prepared if Taylor and Travis ever wanted to come on. Oh, okay. Christine said, what about the 15 albums? I'm confused. Okay, thank you for reminding me to talk about this. So, when Ray was presenting Pop Album of the Year to Taylor, and she was, giving a little lead up about the artist that was going to win the award, she said 15 that it was her 15th studio album. And so as she was saying that, I thought, well, I thought this was Taylor, but that doesn't add up. It can't be 15 if it's Taylor, but then Taylor won the award. So who knows what happened? Maybe there was a typo in the teleprompter. Maybe Ray misspoke. I don't know. Can confirm Taylor does not have 15 studio albums that we're aware of. Showgirl was officially her 12th studio album. Now, technically, if you want to include the Taylor's versions, you would be at 16, right? So there's 12 just original standard versions from debut all the way up through Showgirl, STS 12. And then the 4 Taylor's versions are Fearless, Red, Speak Now, and 1989. We never got debut Taylor's version or Reputation Taylor's version. So technically the Taylor's versions are studio albums, sure, but technically we refer to Taylor's albums as there being 12 and then 4 re-recorded albums. So I don't know where the 15 came from. Some people were joking online that maybe Ray just knows about the next 3 albums that are unreleased. I don't think so. I think it was probably just a mistake. Kate said 17 if you include the Christmas album. Sure. Eminem said, "Why does Taylor do this? I screamed when she started talking about her childhood and making music as a hobby and thought, OMG, she's announcing debut TV," and then she walked off. There was a part of me in both speeches that felt like she was leading up to something, that she was working up to something. But I think that we just got too used to Taylor announcing stuff at award shows. And I think it's a good thing to kind of go back to that not being the medium for an announcement. If anything, I thought there would be an Elizabeth Taylor announcement because that's the other thing that happened before the show even started, actually, is that iHeart was using Elizabeth Taylor, the song, in some promos on social media and at least on I was watching the red carpet live on YouTube, so I don't know if it was on actual Fox or if it was just on that YouTube stream, but they were using Elizabeth Taylor. So I did start to think, "Oh, is there gonna be something with Elizabeth Taylor tonight?" I was joking with some of my friends before the show. We were making outfit predictions for Taylor, and I said, "What if she shows up dressed as Elizabeth Taylor?" That would have been crazy. Oh. J. Chris Clifton says, personally knowing Taylor, I kind of think the 15 reference was intentional and an Easter egg. Hmm. Ray being in on the Easter eggs. I like that. They could be counting Midnights and TTPD as double albums. I guess. But I like whoever messed that up on the teleprompter must feel really bad. Ludacris mentioned a trilogy. Lefty said in chat. Yes, I think that Ludacris was referring to Taylor attending the iHeart Awards and that he was saying, let's make it a trilogy for her to come back again. Flamingo Chick is asking, how can I watch this now? I just hit the mic. Sorry if that made a noise for you guys. I don't know the best way to watch it now if you have access to Fox, or you have a streaming service that maybe records some of this. It aired on Fox in the United States. But you can also go to our Instagram at @ItHitsDiffPod, and we shared a lot of the major moments from the night, like Taylor and Travis's arrival, Taylor's acceptance speeches. So if you want to catch up on just the Taylor part of it, we've got you covered there. Not Fox News, to be clear. Standard Fox cable channel. Need an updated My Chick Bad from Ludacris with Taylor Swift. Oh my gosh, when Ludacris was performing that montage at the end, I knew so many of those songs. Not that I wasn't expecting to, it was just kind of a blast from the past. There were songs that I had not heard in a long time. Well, I think that that covers most of the news from the night. Thank you guys for bearing with us for the technical difficulties. Um, y'all know the live streams just be like that sometimes. Thank you to everyone who's been watching this late on a Thursday night. Again, give the live stream a like if you're watching. If you are watching this later, give us a like and a comment. And make sure you're subscribed to our channel wherever you're listening to this podcast so that you can stay tuned for future episodes. We have some exciting ones coming up next. And all the content that Ryan and I recorded when we were together will be coming to social media soon. We went a little overboard and it's taking a little bit of time to edit, but it's gonna be good.